Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining our webinar in conjunction with Grow Your Business with Discovery Commerce and TikTok Shop. So today I'm joined by Nora, who is the Integrated Marketing Director at TikTok Shop UK. And we're really lucky to have Nora with us today. She'll be explaining how small business owners can harness the power of TikTok Shop to drive growth and connect with a wider audience. So what are we going to be covering today? Well, we're going to be covering why it's so important to have TikTok Shop in your commercial strategy in 2025, including the latest trends and insights, practical tips on how to thrive in the fast-paced world of discovery commerce, and success stories of businesses that started small but scaled quickly through TikTok Shop. Now, today's session will be recorded, so you can catch it shortly. It'll be available on our on-demand page on our FSB website, just in case you want to watch it again. And if you're not yet an FSB member, we'd love to have the opportunity to speak to you further about the benefits of joining. So please do visit our website, www.fsb.org.uk, to book a meeting with one of our membership advisors. Now, you will see at the bottom of your screen, we do have an FAQ function. So we will be taking some questions at the end of the webinar. So make sure any questions that pop into your head, you pop those into the FAQ chat function at the bottom of your screen. So that's fantastic. So Nora, the floor is yours. I'm going to hand over to you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me. I'm very excited to share all the latest and greatest from TikTok Shop UK. Now, we will start a little bit with overview and covering lots of important information of how we see discovery commerce is growing in our UK market. So, as you know, and you are well aware that TikTok is one of the fastest growing global platforms with over 1 billion monthly active users globally. We are number one in terms of global app downloads. We span across 150 countries globally and over 75 languages. So really, we see a tremendous success in terms of our parent app and in terms of usage and engagement on our platform globally. Now, we can see, I already briefly mentioned that our audience is extremely engaged, and that we measure by daily time spent in terms of minutes and sessions as well in terms of time spent. And we can clearly see that across all sorts of platforms, we are really the global leader. Now, that is quite important, and we're just going to come in a second to it, why it's so important to have all these stats available. So, we are at the moment experiencing a hyper growth related to discovery commerce and a new era of the way our consumers really shop. Now, in mid last year, we partnered with Retail Economics, who released a report in terms of social commerce growth. And they estimate that by 2030, we will see social commerce being at 6.2 trillion globally. They also predict that it's growing, and they estimate that it's growing 4 times faster than e-commerce. So at 32% growth year on year versus e-commerce, which is below 10% at the moment. So we also see that in the UK, social commerce is estimated to be at 16 billion by 2028. 93% of TikTok users engage, we know, on our app to shopping-related activities. And really important, over 88% discover new brands and new products via our platform. And that's the highest so far as compared to any type of platform elsewhere. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what does all these stats tell us? Where also another touch point is that in terms of products recommendation and intent to purchase, we are quite high. It's quite natural that normally internal circle a recommendation, like a recommendation from the family and friends, etc., comes first. But in terms of other channels, TikTok is quite high when it comes to who influenced your purchase decision making. So giving all this data in terms of the app which has biggest amount of downloads globally across various countries, paired with the growth potential of social commerce, paired with the platform which helps new brands and new products being discovered, we see that our platform really has become, in the last recent years, a sort of a eternity circle when it comes to commerce purchase. And I really love the slide because it really quite cleverly and quite clearly describes how consumer goes from discovery into consideration and conversion and advocacy in one seamless circle by consuming joyful and really engaging content on our platform. And we've done tons of research on that, and we can see that 64% of TikTok users have discovered new products on TikTok, that 63% have learned information about brands, why naturals clothing, information we have never known before or were not exposed before. We see that 35% of users bought after they learned something about the products or brands they love. And 44% of users shared recommendations of the products they loved on the platform. So this really creates this sort of eternity cycle of purchase or commerce, if you will, through which we see our consumers discover, consider, convert, and advocate seamlessly. We always talk, when we talk about commerce, we talk about 3 powerful C's, and we will keep coming back to the C's quite a lot within our session today. It's communities, creators, and content. So as you know, our platform is really powerful, gathering interest-based communities under one hashtag. You probably read in the press and heard and probably experienced yourself, if you are an active TikTok app user, where we have very engaged communities, if you will, gathered under one hashtag. You probably heard about Book Talk, Parent Talk, where really a hashtag and communities gather around very powerful hashtag, and they share advices and they discuss latest and greatest around new releases related with these themes. We also know that in these communities, being a beauty talk, book talk, etc., you will have lots of creators which really advocate certain sellers, brands, and interests and products, and share their experience and share their opinions related to their interests. They're like the leaders of certain communities of some sort. And we also know that our commerce platform and platform overall is constantly fueled through the content which comes from communities, from our daily active users. And therefore, this helps to create us the eternity of commerce cycle, which comes from communities, from creators, and through the content they develop together. Voila. This all these data points really positions TikTok Shop quite uniquely when it comes to marketplace and when it comes to creator solutions, if you will. We just spoke about social commerce, which is really rising, and in terms of a size of a market, so in terms of a value. And we also notice how fast and quickly it is growing. So that is one of the big buckets, which is really a push factor for the rise of hypergrowth of our platform. And the second, we also see that we have a very large number of daily and active and monthly users who are very engaged on our platform and who love consuming joyful and engaging content and love discovering new brands and products. And really, we see this eternity of commerce cycle, which fuels from communities to creators to content, and helps from discovery, consideration, and conversion and advocacy come quite in a seamless journey. Therefore, it's a very unique, I would say, platform solution, which is fully integrated within our parent app. So we're going to talk a little bit more about TikTok Shop just now. So what do we offer? By the way, I'm not sure if all of you know how to recognize the content, the shoppable content, or how to know if the product or a seller really sells on TikTok Shop. So when you scroll, let me give you a little tip. When you scroll through the content feed, you will see, here you can see Tangle Teaser, a little yellow icon of a shopping bag in the content of your scroll. Not all of them will have it, but some of them will have it. That means that this product is sold through our marketplace and on our marketplace. So that's how you differentiate shoppable content from any other type of content which is being shared on our platform. So TikTok Shop is really, as I mentioned before, a fully integrated e-commerce solution on TikTok app. It empowers our customers to discover new, unique, and trendy products, and really gets inspired by authentic sellers and creators they trust. So here I think there are a couple of very unique or very important messages which we're trying to send. So it's really about discovery. Our platform is all about discovery of new products, an opportunity for consumers to discover new products or new brands. Much higher than any other existing platforms out there, and really position our sellers or brands and products in a unique and authentic way, which gets served to our consumers through very authentic, joyful content and engaging content, which comes from either sellers and brands themselves or from the creators. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into that just a second. So our really proposition of e-commerce is built on the three key pillars. So as I mentioned before, really active and engaged daily audience. Secondly, really personalized feed in terms of the content, but as well as in terms of the product recommendation and product. So your personalized shopping feed will be probably different of mine, because it really serves the products based on your previous engagements, based on the creators you engage, based on the category groups and interest groups. And it also gets served on our content through a very joyful and engaging content which comes from our creators or brands themselves. One of the key areas to understand is then our conversion funnel, if you will. As I mentioned before, we're quite uniquely positioned because we're fully integrated marketplace within our app. What does that mean in the practical terms? Well, the consumer scrolls the feed, gets interested into the product or the brand, and from discovery and browsing the feed and consuming the content to selecting the certain product, to checkout, meaning purchasing the product, to going back, consuming the content or sharing the experience of a product, all happens in the one seamless way. What does it mean, seamless way? It means that the consumer never leaves the platform. It's this continuous journey, and you don't need to leave a platform to go to the third-party website or channel. It happens, everything happens in one go. So it's very non-disruptive, if you will, purchasing journey, which actually does not exist anywhere else. Therefore, it's very seamless and easy for consumers to continue this shopping cycle. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about 4 ways consumers shop from brands and sellers, and equally on our platform. So, as I mentioned, first 2 pillars, shoppable videos and live shopping, is interactive way you shop. So I'm going to go a bit deeper what that means. And another 2 ways is showcase page, or like a product window, if you will, and the shop tab, but lower button in our marketplace. Here, you already can see in the first video yellow shopping bag icon, which reads Glowy Routine. It means this product is, as I mentioned before, is on our marketplace and sold through TikTok Shop. Important. Just want to emphasize that because not everyone knows actually how to recognize which content is shoppable and which content is for entertainment purposes. Right. So 4 ways consumers buy on our platform. We're going to go deeper now into each of them. Shoppable videos. As you can see, the little shopping icon. When you press on that, you go into the, so to say, product page where it illustrates product imagery, which illustrates what the product does, has a very clear description, etc. A few things to mention here. Shoppable video is a very important way for consumers to shop, because that's what gets served on our platform as a content when you scroll. It's very important to experiment and produce various types of shoppable video, especially when you start at the beginning your journey. When you are trying to experiment and understand what type of shoppable videos really attract attention to your customer group. Some practical tips is keeping it under 1 minute, for example, making sure that they fall under certain content pillars. Is it educational? Is it emphasizing some sort of a trend which was born on our platform, or cultural trend, or any type of seasonality trend? Does it hook? And does it really engage at the very first start when the consumer is scrolling? Does it clearly communicate what the product does? Does it show what the product delivers? If it's a before and after, are consumers clear? Why should they buy it? Why is it, say, better of a competitor? Do you have a very appealing product demonstration? So not all of these areas work for each of the categories, right? So depending on the category and depending on the price point, depending on what your product is, you might choose certain different angles how you create shoppable videos. But these are all just tips and tricks I would recommend you explore if you are new or about to start selling through TikTok Shop. Don't forget that call to action at the end is very important. Click the link here, add to the basket here, etc. It's really important. Now, I often get the questions, Nora, what is the secret formula of how many shoppable videos we should do per week, per day, per month? When should we post, etc.? I have to disappoint you. There is no secret formula. It's very much dependent on what it is that you're selling. And we've seen a great variety. We recommend at the beginning to really over-index in producing and creating content. The more your content you produce, the more it gets served to consumers, the more wider and the more frequently. So at the beginning, it's really, really important that you experiment, and then you'll see the traction of what works best. We've seen some brands and sellers who produce content 2 or 3 times a day. We equally see over-indexing in other parts of the area of content, not necessarily shoppable videos. So there is no sort of unique formula, but you need to discover and recommend and find your best solution. And the best way to do it is through experimentation. Second part of dynamic content is live shopping. Live shopping, ladies and gentlemen, we estimate it's going to be the biggest trend within discovery commerce in 2025. We really say that this is the year when live shopping is going to become mass shopping. We already saw that in Q4, every day we had 6,000 live sessions happening on our platform. So it's becoming incredibly big and incredibly engaging and loved by our users. Why? Because it's really the personalized way to shop online. You have a presenter who interacts with the audience all the time, who is very reactive in terms of the comments, who can demonstrate the products right there, right now. You will probably see lots of prizes, lots of prize drops, lots of unique products that never were released before, all happening in live shopping events. Some are a bit shorter. At the beginning, sellers and brands like to experiment, going live at different times of the day, different days of the week, for different lengths, an hour, a 2, and see what works. But we all witnessing really the surge of this way of interaction with consumers happening on our platform. And we see our sellers and brands getting incredibly creative and innovative of how we conduct the live shoppings. Some do only from their office. Some do from their warehouses. Some of them come to our warehouses. Some do through their kitchens and labs to really demonstrate how the product got created. Creativity is limitless, I would say, in this area. There are a few recommendations which we always offer for our sellers. At the beginning, really, you don't need to overthink in terms of a production or preparation. You just need to start going live and experiment and see what really works with the audience. And again, similarly, like with shopping videos or any type of interactive content or shoppable content on our platform, the more you over-index at the beginning, the more our platform gets the learnings that, oh, this seller and brand goes live a couple times a week, and it gets served to more daily active users on our platform. So at the beginning, do embrace yourself into experimenting. And spend some time on our platform watching lives, and you'll get a sense of a certain formats which might work for your category, or for your product type, or for your product price point. For example, we know that live shopping is very key and fundamental for any type of fashion item, because the presenter can really demonstrate the product on her or any type of team member which is also taking a part in the live session. And product demonstration in terms of different colors, fashions, and it's very important before the consumer makes a purchasing decision. So it's a really great way to engage with the audience. As I mentioned, there is no golden formula in terms of how much a seller content should produce via shoppable videos or via lives. There's no golden formula. So for some, depending on the product category and product type, some sellers over-index in one area, some do the equal more or less split, some do on the other area, etc. There are a few probably recommendations you should think when you start going live, but you will see them quite quickly if you watch a bit of the content on our platform of live shopping, because you will see there is a certain sort of format some successful sellers follow. But what you should really consider is few areas. Firstly, we call it a preheat phase. So how do you promote that you as a seller are gonna go live on a certain day and a certain time? We really recommend to pre-promoting your live event, however big or small it is, a few days before, so that consumers can pre-register to your live room. And when you go live, you already have an engaged audience in your live room, as we call it. So imagine it's like a shop. When you open a shop, there is already a crowd of people who are there to listen and engage with you. It's rather important, I would say. Second bit is the product and pricing strategy. Live shopping happens right there, right now, right during the live show. Think about it. What would be the reason for consumer to buy during your live shopping event? Is it the product or SKU we have never seen before? Is it the bundle we have never seen before? Is it a certain price point which is potentially more attractive than always? There needs to be always a reason you are doing a live show. Are you presenting a new SKU? Are you launching something new? Is it a limited edition potential, etc.? So having some sort of hook of why consumers should engage and make the purchase is quite important. Another is presenter. So who will be presenting? I know that not all of the small business founders and owners feel confident and comfortable being in front of the camera. Do we have any type of team member? Can we partner with an agency who can recommend a good live presenter? There's lots of options available, but having a presenter who's comfortable and confident in front of a camera, who can capture an attention, have an energy, is quite important, because it's a new way of entertainment, a live shopping event. So it's a very important area to have a really great engaged presenter who advocates the brand, is passionate about the brand, and offers a good energy during the show. And the last thing is probably thinking about the pacing or what happens during live show. Of course, if it's 1 hour or 2 hours, you probably need a bit of a less preparation. You just think about the whole sort of sequence of events. But some of the shows, when you are getting a bit better and better at that, we have some of our live shows and key showcases which can go live for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. It's like a whole day event. We proudly have our 12-hour live shopping record holder. P. Louise is a female entrepreneur of her own makeup brand who harnessed staggering $2 million US dollars of revenue in 12 hours last July. So these show and live show events can span across multiple hours, and then pacing or the programming that happens during those shows are really quite important. The beginning is what you need to really is just a camera, a phone, a tripod, a lights, a good microphone, and just start experimenting in a smaller scale. You don't need a full house operations with studios and agencies involved at all. Now, another 2 ways of shopping. If you remember, we spoke about 4 ways of shopping. 2 were active or interactive, which requires content production coming from your own handles. That was shoppable video and lives. I spoke extensively about both of them. Another 2, it's more static, and I'm going to cover now ShopTab and live showcase. ShopTab is essentially a little button which you can see on the left-hand corner on our app. It has a little shopping bag. If you click on there, you will have a personalized shopping feed of shopping products based on your interests and based on your past interactions on our platform. So essentially, normally yours and mine will differ. Depends on the content that I engage, etc. You don't need to do anything, essentially. When you set up a shop to appear, your products will be automatically shown to different audiences and different consumers. You can definitely participate in our campaigns, which we run weekly, monthly, etc., to be featured in, for example, Spotlight, featured brands, spring sales, etc. So there's lots of opportunities to get featured in some of in some of our web pages, which appear on our ShopTab marketplace. You also there's lots of ads offers available where you can boost your product listing and get it higher, etc., which are available. But essentially, it's a more conventional marketplace display, and once your shop is active and products are active, you don't require to do anything else. And the last one is Showcase. So Showcase is essentially when you have a TikTok page, you will see the little shopping bag icon which will appear. You can see it here on the first page of a screen, and when you click on that shop, consumers will see all the products you are selling. So it's, in a sense, we always call it is like a shopping window of your shop. So what do you do with your shopping window? You make sure that it's appealing and tidy and neat and clean, right? So you have nice photography of your products. You have a very clear description what your product does and why consumers should buy it, why it's unique, why it's different. You probably have some amazing imagery and videos behind it. And you also have some reviews. The products, the consumers and yourself, you will automatically see of how many units have been sold of that product on your product showcase. It's sort of an outer feature which you don't need to worry about. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we spoke about 4 ways consumers shop: 2 dynamic and 2 interactive. And 2 interactive are content related, which comes from your own handles and your teams are producing that content, or yourself. Another way that this interactive content is being produced is through creators. So now we're going to talk a little bit about our creator offering and how do you engage with creators on TikTok Shop. So creators, so key points and statistics. We know that 75% of TikTok app users find creator content to be very believable, and 71% engage into purchasing activity after seeing the content from coming out from creators versus the brand itself. So what does that say to us? It says that authenticity coming from creators when they advocate for your product or your brand is key in this in our ecosystem and in making your purchase super successful. So when you register your shop with us, you get access to our backend solution, which is essentially a data set and tells us all different data points in terms of the performance of your shop, etc. It also gives you a possibility to engage your brand and your products with creators. There are 2 ways or 3 ways, if you will, how brands work with our creators on our platform. One is an open plan. Essentially, when you upload the number of samples and you let any type of creator to apply for the sample. The sample gets shipped to the creator, and the creator has a certain time frame to create the content and start selling. Important to mention that our TikTok Shop creators get remunerated only based on a percentage of units or revenue generated. So it's on affiliate basis only. There is no flat fee involved. So they are very motivated to sell and convert your product into sales. It's important even in the open plan to make sure that you present your brand and product in a compelling way and make sure that creators are interested in naturally selling. You can engage with creators which are cross-category, for example, wellness, and advocate many categories. You can engage with creators which are specializing only in certain categories, beauty or say food and beverage, etc. So there's different ways you can engage. There is really important 2 areas: making samples available, and really setting the affiliate fee in a competitive way that the consumer that creators are willing to really collaborate and partner with you. Another way is so we spoke about open plan. Another way is a targeted plan. Targeted plan is a little bit different in the sense that it's you who selects the creators you want to work with. So for example, it normally works quite well when you are trying to tell a certain story. For example, you only want to collaborate with 10 wellness, for example, creators, and you know exactly who they are and whom you want to work with. So it's more of a hand-picked model, if you will. And there's also a way when some of our brands who collaborate between, who do a mixed model. For certain campaigns, they use open plan. For a certain campaign, they use targeted plan, or every time and then every now and then they do the mixed model. So that's also possible. Another way brands and or sellers collaborate with creators is actually when they are maybe a bit short on experience, expertise, and internal resources, and they engage with our cap and tap agencies, so creator agency partners or TikTok affiliate partners. So we have a bunch of listed agency partners, which some of them are certified and can help our sellers to really set up campaigns and work with creators in different ways. So that's also a quite popular way, especially at the beginning, when maybe you're hand-shorted in resources and you don't have enough team members to help you work with creators on our platform. This method is quite popular at the beginning when sellers actually engage the experts on that. Now, we are really doubling down in terms of making sure that our marketplace is not only, firstly, is safe to buy, but it's also safe to sell. So when you register with us, you will have to submit certain documents to make sure that our teams are checking and validating that you're a legitimate business, that your products are valid, that they are safe to use, et cetera, et cetera. And we take this quite seriously. And we're always doubling down each quarter on these efforts to make sure that your brand, your shop is equally protected as our consumers are protected against any type of violations. There's also a few areas probably around this similar type to mention that there are certain categories which we sell and we don't sell, and those rules are similar, sort of self-explanatory, and you can find them on our website. We are also making sure that we are very strict on content moderation and that the content you produce is always vetted and ensure that it's a high quality. So we also have tons of tips on what is the tips of what is good quality content and how to make sure that you're producing a good quality content, and how do we make sure that the content that's being produced for creators equally is as well monitored in the safe terms. So you might, we've covered a lot in the sense of why TikTok is in the forefront of discovery commerce. What is market opportunity and growth opportunity for the businesses? Why a TikTok shop is actually quite uniquely placed as a marketplace and e-commerce solution. How do consumers shop? How sellers can sell more effectively and efficiently. Some practical tips in terms of content creation or how to engage with our creator community, who are essentially your sellers. As a marketplace, we operate our relationship with our sellers and our creators are incredibly symbiotic, because we operate on the fee structure. So there's a platform fee which our sellers pay to us based on the revenue they generate. So the more sellers grow, or brands grow, and our businesses grow on our platform, the more we grow. So we are very much interested for everyone to thrive. Equally similarly, the more creators sell of sellers' products, the more revenue they get, the more sellers grow, the more we grow. So there's this between sellers or brands and creators and us, there's always this symbiotic relationship in terms of the growth achievements and growth goals and support, if you will, because everyone is here interested to succeed on the platform. What are the key reasons why businesses and brands are launches? Obviously, the most evident and the most obvious is the incrementality of revenue. So it's a very quick way and sustainable way for the brands to scale and grow. Often it's a good way to test the products, especially if you're launching something new, and see if there is an appetite. It often works very well, but sometimes small and medium-sized businesses, in terms of their resources, are not able immediately to launch in nationwide retailers, which would require lots of investment behind of a stock production, etc. So launching on our platform gives sellers and brands incremental revenue and sustainable growth at the beginning, and a great test and learn approach, if you will. Secondly, sometimes we see brands are coming to engage with new audiences when it comes to, say, a positioning element. So, for example, we have certain brands like, say, Elemis, who came to us and wanted to make sure that they position themselves in alignment with Gen Z audience better. So their first and foremost goal was the audience, and second goal was revenue, right? So it's not necessarily always is the revenue, it's primarily the revenue growth, because we can help scale fast and quick, and the opportunity of a market is there, but sometimes it's more of a positioning and perception exercise. Some of the brands, for example, like ASOS, came to us to launch because they wanted to really increase the number of first-time buyers within the fashion area. And we've done it quite successfully through our target and open plan creator engagement. So that is sometimes also one of the reasons why sellers or brands come to launch with us. And lastly, it's really engaging with our growth resources. We have thousands and thousands of creators, TikTok Shop creators on our platform, and it gives incredible opportunity to give the products and the samples into the hands of thousands and thousands of creators, which will then produce the content on our platform. And we've had many stories that the brands and sellers who went viral with their products and our brands have not then expanded nationwide with the key national retailers here in the UK, who have opened their own stores and independent shops across the UK, who then expanded across different markets with TikTok Shop, and who then expanded with globally with other retailers because of their virality and because of their success through TikTok Shop. Now, you might say, Nora, but who is selling on you? Oh, we actually we have over 200,000 of sellers now active on TikTok Shop. We are really in the hyper growth. We're seeing them onboarding in triple-digit numbers every single month. A few areas to mention. Majority of the sellers, as I mentioned, we're having over 200,000 here in the UK. When they onboard, they come through our mass managed system and of acquisition and incubation, because as you can imagine, we won't have on hand available amount of account managers to manage everyone. But when the sellers grow in terms of the revenue and scale, they will get more and more individual support and guidance on our platform. At the moment, we are specializing, important to mention, across product sector versus services. So we're not able to sell any services or digital product. It always needs to be some sort of a physical good, if you will. And we kind of span across 6 key categories, worth to mention. Beauty, which is obviously very natural. And beauty, it's everything from hair care, nail care, skin care, fragrance is really booming on our platform. So very different. Then we have fashion, which is also very kind of platform native, I would say. You will see a lot of content on our platform related to fashion. Then we have a big category under FMCG. And FMCG is quite broad. Fresh food and beverages as a subcategory, wellness, nutrition, supplements, vitamins, and then fresh flowers, for example, which was booming just before Valentine's Day. Then any type of home care, so from cleaning products to towels and whatnot. So quite a big category as well. And then another big category is home and living and electronics. And that really sort of harnesses lots of subcategories, such as pet care, collectibles, any type of phone accessories, any type of electronics. It can be even treadmills is quite popular. Magnetic projector is one of our viral products, which we sell hundreds of thousands units all the time. So lots of electronical products, books. Really, TikTok was fundamental and instrumental in really the book talk research of the publishers, and we work with quite a few publishing houses, etc. So lots of categories, as I mentioned. Find a really nice success on our platform. And because we are growing together with our sellers, every quarter we launch new subcategories or under each of the categories. So we're quite constantly evolving. And we have lots of brands and sellers spreading across both SMB and founder-led to big multinational brands, which you are all love, know, and consume every single day. So there is no really certain sort of type only. Oh, here I just picked up some of the lovely stories, which I myself love a lot, about our sellers from last year. Last year we had our first TikTok Shop awards evening in December, where we awarded some of inspiring stories, inspiring sellers, and celebrated their successes. And some of them were, I just wanted to kind of mention here, like Virgo Boutique, which was a woman-founded and owned business that started with just 2 people and has really grown into a powerhouse, really thanks to their really clever strategies and standout presenters. I recommend to watch their lives. Lucy is one of the co-founders, which goes live 6 times per week, and she does it often with her sister. It's a fashion brand, and she's been incredibly like successful through growing her brand through live shopping events. It's a fantastic brand, and I would recommend to watch some content. Another one, which is also we love here across our team, is Ridiculously Rich by Alana. She bakes cakes. And she's also doing lots of cake baking during her live shopping events, where she actually on the spot bakes the cakes based on with her audience interaction. So I would also love you to watch a bit of if you're planning to launch and set up the shop with us, watch her content a bit, because she's seen phenomenal success with over 70,000 orders last year of her Mr. Cake Box, which is one of her like viral products. It's fantastic. And another one, which is also really interesting story, is Hyra Textiles. It's one of the first entries into the South Asian fashion category. And it's a family-owned business, and it's really a nice family story. Mother and son has helping her to really supercharge the TikTok Shop, and they were also one of the winners, and really doubles down on live shopping in terms of the hours, etc. So different categories, different brands, different subcategories, but all small and medium-sized businesses and founders and family businesses, which started from really small and has grown phenomenally within last year, and I've seen incredible success and results. And if you head to our blog, you can also read more about how they did it, what strategies did they use, and just go on our platform and have a look at their content and what they do. It's very inspiring to see, and actually it's a great education as well. Now, our platform has lots of tools to help you manage and grow, etc. Few I'm just going to mention here. So when you start producing the content interactive from creators and from yourself, it's worth looking into the Shop Ads solution, which helps you boost the best performing content and deliver basically more sales and better ROAS and ROI. We have different shop products available, or ad product available, from product shopping ads, video shopping ads, live shopping ads. And just at the beginning of this year, second half of January, we launched GMV Max, our first AI-enabled ad campaign management solution, which helps basically manage all campaigns automatically in a much more efficient way. So that's also available. So and estimates to deliver an increase of 30% in GMV, which is huge. So again, on the back end of our solution, of our app, all of this is available when you start like really selling and trading on our platform. We have TikTok Shop partners, TSP. I mentioned them before. It's a hooray of an agencies. Some of them we certify, we train all of them quite extensively, so that our sellers can outsource at the beginning or at certain point in their journey some of the services. And it can be from product integration, it can be product catalog management, it can be creator campaigns, it can be live, it can you can outsource some of the ad management, like lots of services and areas you can outsource. So that's available. We have fulfillment solutions from 3PL, 4PL, fulfilled by TikTok. You choose the one which works better. We have lots of integrations with lots of existing platforms like Shopify. We're integrated with Shopify, so it's quite easy if you're already on Shopify to add us on it. As I mentioned before, on the Seller Center, when you start trading, you will have all the access to data in terms of what content is selling, what products the best. So it's very easy for you essentially to manage it. I briefly mentioned fulfillment solutions, all options available, so you choose the one you like. There is different ways you add the product catalog onto our system, and you can do it manually. You can do it through various apps. Shopify is one of them, for example. You can do the API integration if that's your preferred model. So depending at which journey of your business you are you just really starting, or you have some presence on, say, D2C already, etc. Lots of options for you to choose on, or you can just outsource altogether if you need some help. I mentioned about TikTok Shop ads, video shopping, product shopping, and live shopping. They're all available, plus GMV Max, which is the newest AI-enabled and the most advanced one. So we recommend when you're already up and running with your shop, you produce the content is performing, how do you supercharge and get the most ROI of it? That's when you could turn to ads. TikTok Shop partners, as I mentioned, tons of options for you to choose if you want and need some help. How do you register? It's quite actually simple. You go to our website, you click I want to register, you register with a Seller Center. You will be required to upload some of the documents I mentioned before so that our teams can check and make sure that you're protected and our consumers are protected. And then you upload the products, start producing the content, connect with our creators, essentially participate in any type of campaigns we have, start applying ads onto your best performing content, etc. And pretty much that's it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in case you want to join us today, here are some direct links, and I know that the lovely FSB team will going to share as well with you any type of other links where you can find educational resources, where you can come and connect with us, and as well as register your business in case you want to do that imminently. And with this, without further ado, I want to thank you for this lovely 1 hour of your time. I hope you enjoyed and find it beneficial and useful, and I'm sure you might have tons of questions waiting for me in the back room, so I'll hand over back and I'm here to answer any questions.
That is fantastic. Wow, Nora, you packed so much into that presentation. It was amazing. Now we've got lots and lots of questions coming through, as you can imagine.
Yes.
We'll try and get through as many as we can. But we did get one in advance, and it was basically around how often should businesses post shoppable content to maximize engagement and sales? I don't know if you've got any steer on that.
Yes, I mentioned at some point when we spoke about shoppable content that, to be honest, there is no there is no formula of, right, if you do this amount, etc., then this is the amount of sales you're going to generate. It's very much dependent on the category and actually subcategory, and what's happening on the platform within that subcategory as well. But the key golden formula, if you're at the beginning of a journey, it's very important to over-index on producing shoppable videos, both from your handles and with the partnership with creators, as well as lives. Because at the beginning, our marketplace and platform is learning on who you are, what do you sell, who might be interested in your products or in your category. So it's very important that the platform learns very quickly and the content gets served to bigger audience. That the discovery element, when consumers are browsing for it, really comes to life. So I would say over-index at the beginning. Also, at the beginning, probably you won't know what type of content works for you. Is it educational? Is it led on trends? Is it, a product demonstration? Is it in use? Is it before and after? So by testing and learning and producing a lot, you will see, okay, this is actually not performing that well. This is fantastic. So that beginning is very important. Couple times per day would be a minimum, I would say. But
That
don't
makes
think about, but what I want to encourage you all, don't think about it as a big production, etc. Please go on the platform and just scroll and explore. Some of the videos are literally very, very simple and does not require a lot of time. You need to ensure the quality is good. So the lighting is good, the product is showing clearly, you know, it's a representation of your brand at the end of a story. But it doesn't, don't think about it, oh my God, I need a lot of resources to produce. No, no. We've seen our really the key of our platform is UGC and this authentic content that gets done here and now. So don't think about it as a big operation that will require lots of time.
That's brilliant, Nora. Wow, we've got loads more to whiz through. So I'll be as quick as
I'll
I
be
can.
shorter.
Yeah. So in terms of a live session, just briefly, what's the ideal length for a live session? And again, how often should businesses go live?
At the beginning, over index.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I think do 1 to 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, do that and start from it and do at different times of the day. Change presenters if you have internal team. See what again, see what works, you know. But
Yeah.
couple times per week, 1 to 2 hours at the beginning.
Okay.
And then, for example, have a look at Virgo Boutique. It's a good seller to sort of get inspiration, etc. The founder goes there like sometimes even over 6 times per week lives, etc. So slowly you'll find the pace. But at the beginning, you just trial a little bit here, a little bit there, you know.
That's brilliant. Thanks,
Yeah.
Nora. Just quickly, so call to actions. We all know as marketers that call to actions are so important. So what kind of call to action works best in a TikTok shop video?
Shop now, click on the link now, add to basket here, click this, you know, pointing sometimes to the button, etc. It's very important so that consumer know that this actually content or video is shoppable.
That's brilliant. I'm just
Mhm.
looking through all the many questions we got, so we'll get through as many as we can. So how do you differentiate the brands that you help to build confidence and safety? And this is just a bit of a nod to some of the, you know, unfortunately, the sort of frauds who might be on TikTok. So how do you sort of get away from the bad seller experiences and from your perspective, differentiate the brands that help you build confidence and safety?
Well, we have multiple teams who are looking after content quality, after content moderation, which is anyways is happening on our platform. Within e-commerce, we have a separate team, both which is technology, AI enabled, and human resources who constantly moderate. And moderation happens in many areas, you know. Firstly, in terms of whether the business is legitimate, whether the brand is legitimate, whether the products we sell are legal and legitimate and, you know, fall into the right categories, you know, whether the customer reviews are positive and there's no, you know, flags from the customers coming in there about the products themselves or the brand themselves or the experience themselves. There's also certain rules when it comes to which our sellers need to adhere to when it comes to how quickly the products need to be shipped, because we are making sure our customers have a nice experience. If you, for example, outsource and do fulfilled by TikTok service in terms of supply chain and logistics, we have a lovely new warehouse in Birmingham. Then the whole part of shipping and making the timelines on time and customer service, etc., comes on our end. So we do that whole part of consumer experience, if you will. So at different, you know, even during live shopping, for example, there is certain areas for which in case you say certain phrases or words, you get evaluation points, and after you collect certain number of evaluation points, your content or sometimes even shop can be suspended. So it's quite like strict, making sure that we double down on safety when it comes to the sellers and when it comes to our consumers.
That's brilliant. Now we've got so many questions. No, I can't get through anymore because we're due to close. But I'm guessing if people have got questions that haven't been answered, to reach out to the TikTok team directly.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fabulous. So thank you just so much for your time today. It's fantastic. And you know, if you have enjoyed the webinar today, I would say do leave us a review on Trustpilot. They're always welcome. And keep an eye out for our on-demand webinar for you to view again. Huge
Yeah,
thank you to you, Nora, and to TikTok Shop for your support. Thank
thank you
you.
so much.